Know that your wiring and skill set matters. Psalm 139 talks about how God knit us in our mother's womb. That means that God created us with intention, and God created us for a purpose. And that's what other scriptures say as well, that beforehand, Ephesians 2, it talks about that beforehand, God created good works for us to do. There's a specific plan and purpose for your life. That God has created you with unique skill sets, with passions and desires, and they're for a reason. They're because there are people in your sphere of influence that only you can reach. There's people with your similar skill sets that you work with, that you interact with, or that are peers that only you can reach because you understand them better than others because of your skill set or because of your wiring. And if you think, man, I wish I was less introverted, or I wish I was more of an extrovert, well, I'm here to tell you, don't, because there is intention and design behind the reason why you're wired the way you are. There are people that introverts will reach that extroverts never can. Sometimes us extroverts actually scare people, where you introverts actually are able to interact with them because you listen better than we do. You ask more questions than we do. And oftentimes you will reach people that extroverts cannot. And so I want to encourage you to recognize that your wiring is important and it's unique to you, just like your story. I said your story matters in a previous video. Well, the way you're wired matters as well. You're passionate about certain things because there's certain spheres of influence that God actually has called you to be in that others can't be. There's certain things that I will never be able to do, and that's okay because you or someone else can, and you're gonna reach those in there. If you have a passion for business, awesome. Go start businesses, go get involved in business, but do it with a kingdom mindset, recognizing that Jesus calls us in Matthew 5, salt and light. Everywhere you go, you are salt and light. And think about that. Salt does two main things. It has other functions, but it has two main things. It preserves. You're called to preserve the truth where you're at, but it brings out flavor. You're called to bring out the God flavor in every place and everything you're at. But not only that, you're also called light. And light pushes back darkness. Light shines bright. Light gives direction. Light exposes things. But light brings warmth as well. And so just think about that. And there's a lot more I can say about that. But you as salt and light are called to certain places. And your skill sets are going to open up doors for you that my skill set won't open. And so we need to begin to understand. It's like when Paul talks about the body of Christ in 1 Corinthians. All of us play a role. Everyone is important. Those who do business are just as important as those who pastor churches, because you're going to do a couple things. You're going to interact with other businessmen and women, and you are able to bring them to Jesus, where a pastor may not. But also you're able to make income and increase your income in a way that can help further the kingdom, where others may not. You think entrepreneurially, you think about specific goals, and you think about how to get results done. That is needed to the body of Christ, because there's other people that never think about goals, that never think about results, but all they think about is feel good or connectivity things. How can I connect with this person? How can I make this person feel good, or whatever it is? And when you come along, you add value to the body of Christ. And when you walk in your skill set, you actually can be salt and light in areas that other people can't. The same thing for those who are passionate about government. Go into government, but go as one who's an ambassador of the kingdom. Not just an ambassador of a political party, but an ambassador of the King of Kings, Jesus Christ. That's what you're called to do. So I just want to encourage you, don't despise your skill set. Don't despise your wiring, but know that God has made you unique, because there's only people you can reach, and there's places that you can go that others can't. And so recognize that in the spheres of influence you're in the 7 spheres of influence that impact entire culture, your skill sets get you in doors that other people can't. In fact, those that are nurses, that are doctors, those that are business people, they can get into closed borders where other people may not be able to go. Educators, the same thing. They can go in doors that other people can't go. You might be thinking, oh, I have a teaching gift. Well, what can I do with that? There's many things you can do with that. Beyond even just teaching in a church, you can teach in a school setting whether it's elementary, middle school, high school, college. You can teach in other settings, and you can use that gift in the workplace to open up doors to be salt and light. Many nations need educators. And so that's another opportunity, opens up doors for you to go. And so I could go on and on and on. But my encouragement to you is know that God knit you in your mother's womb with unique intention and purpose. And your wiring is important to you. And it's important to the mission and the calling God has on your life. Because of the way God has wired you and because of the skill set he's given you, that plays into your calling. And you can't do your call unless you walked in your wiring and skill set. So thank the Lord that he's made us different, because if that weren't the case, all of us would be exactly the same and there would be no diversity. But not only that, only one thing could get done, because there's only one thing we all could do if we were wired the same way and had the same skill set. So thank the Lord, in his wisdom, he knew that he needed each one of us to accomplish his God-given task of advancing his kingdom across the earth. And you are wired specifically with the skill set you've been given to help accomplish the task of the Great Commission in your backyard, in this nation, and in the nations.